Imagine walking across deserts, mountains, and unknown lands, not for money, not for fame, but for one single hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the story of a man whose sincerity shook the world of knowledge. More than 13 centuries ago, in the early days of the Muslim world, lived a young scholar named Nafi ibn Yazid. He heard a rumor of a rare hadith, one that could change the understanding of an entire chapter of fiqh. But the narrator of the hadith lived far away, over 3,000 kilometers from his home. Most people would have ignored it. Some would have waited for a better opportunity. But the scholars of that time believed something different. If the truth is far, then the legs are the means that bring you closer to Allah. Nafi packed his scrolls, kissed his mother's hand, and began a journey that would take him across empires. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, across burning deserts, across freezing nights, across lands where he didn't understand the language. Yet he continued, because for him, one authentic hadith was more precious than gold. One night, as he rested near a valley, a group of bandits surrounded him. "Give us your gold," they demanded. He raised his hands and said, "I have no gold, only these scrolls, the knowledge I seek." The leader grabbed his manuscripts, confused. "Why travel this far for this?" Naf replied softly, "Because a single word spoken by the Prophet is worth more than your entire world." The bandit leader paused and dropped the scrolls. He ordered his men to leave him unharmed. After months of struggle, hunger, and exhaustion, Nafi finally reached the city where the narrator of the hadith lived, an elderly man known for his truthfulness. But when he found the man's home, he learned something devastating. The narrator had passed away only days earlier. For a moment, Nafi felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. The journey, the pain, the sacrifice, all for nothing. But Allah never wastes the effort of the sincere. As he stood outside the house, a neighbor approached. "You came for the hadith?" the man asked. Nafi nodded. The neighbor smiled gently. "The old narrator taught it to me only 2 weeks ago." Nafi was speechless. Allah had preserved knowledge for him through another chain. The neighbor recited the hadith word by word. Nafi wrote it down carefully, and tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "Ya Allah, your mercy is greater than any distance." Nafi returned home with one hadith, but with a heart that carried 1,000 lessons. My dear brothers and sisters, this story teaches us one thing. When you walk toward Allah, He opens doors you never expected. Maybe your dua is far, maybe your dream is distant, maybe your risk seems unreachable. But Allah sees the effort, not the distance. No journey made for His sake is ever wasted. Not one step, not one tear, not one moment. May Allah make us sincere in seeking knowledge, truth, and the path that leads to Him.